happy to be here with you today. I'm feeling a lot of the intensity of the world that we're living in, and I want to include the feelings I'm having, even though we can sometimes think of our practice as a refuge from life. The teachings suggest, and the paradigm from which I come from, is that our practice is training for life, right? We're training up to be good, ready, and willing humans. And so we touch in with what we need to work with. And today, right now, this week, I'm working with endurance and standing up and speaking up. So that's what we're going to do. And a couple blocks and a belt, 45-minute flow. I'm going to keep it strong probably till the end. So please take care of yourselves, and I'll try to offer modifications along the way. So you can step to the front of your mat, have your props within reach. I'll face the camera so it's easier for you to see, and I'll turn as I need to. So please just gather, don't just do anything. Please gather your feet right under you. And you don't have to do anything special with that. Simply feel your feet on the ground right under you. And feel the ground supporting you. And you could close your eyes here. Follow a couple of exhales where you've encouraged the rooting into the earth under you. Let the inhales come down from sky, from the heavens, from all that we're surrounded by in terms of vast expanse and space and weather and sunlight and air. Let that infuse the lightness, the freedom of breath. And the exhales touching down to the firmness, the reliability of present moment experiencing. And being with reality just as it is, not because it's good or right or perfect, but because it is. And we have to meet it here if we want to do anything with it. Exhale. Soften the knees, flex the ankles and the hips a little, and then re-straighten. Repeat that a handful of times. So you bend the knees just enough to feel the ankles sort of pause at their end range, re-extend. I call this merry-go-round asana. So not pitching the torso forward, not leaning forward or sticking your bum back. And feel the levelness of the feet, the 3 points of the feet on the floor, so you're not collapsing arches. The knees slide easily. And add, as you straighten, a little lift to the heels, and then land and bend and repeat, adding the lift, like flirting with and eventually growing into tiptoe pose. But starting with little micro lifts, gradually increasing the lift. I am curious if in that gradation of higher toe tips, can you sustain a sense of connection to earth through the heels, even though they're lifting. Feel free to linger longer at the top or linger longer at the bottom, or take longer to traverse between the two. So slowing down and intensifying your experience in the interest of being with intensity, being with challenge, and it will get a lot more challenging, but we have the luxury here to pace ourselves. So I'm turning to the side. The next time your knees bend, step your left foot back just a little bit, like a moderate casual step. Stay in the knee bend, still torso vertical, and the weight is evenly distributed between the 2 feet. Then go tiptoe. You do whatever you need to with your arms. As you stay on tiptoe, step the left foot forward. Try to sustain casual, easy balance and soften the 2 knees, land the heels, step the right foot back, that casual, normal size step. Split the weight, both feet evenly distributing weight, tiptoes, and then stepping forward on the tiptoe. Right foot meets left, soften, bend, step left foot back. Even weight between the 2 feet, rise up. Straight legs, tiptoe, step forward. On the right foot, both feet side by side, bend the knees. Step the right foot back. So we're making this little circle, low to step back, high to step forward, alternating feet. If you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can make the steps bigger. I wouldn't make them so big that you can't get the heel down on the back leg. That would make it a lot harder. Maybe, maybe not even doable. One more time each side. The bigger step is harder. From tiptoe at the top of the mat, fold on down. Catch your blocks if you need them for an easy forward bend. Dangle, wiggle, waggle. Try to dangle in all the dimensions, so front to back, like wave the spine, and then of course there's the side to side. And then you can add a little rotation, twisting the torso around. They don't have to be big movements. Go ahead and catch your blocks under your hands. Hands on blocks, dog. This helps to pitch a little more weight back into the feet, which can make some variations easier. Like if we catch the right ankle with the left hand, and if you can't get down to the ankle, catch outer knee or calf. And the right hand pushes on the block, and the left hand can pull a little bit on that right foot. Chin sort of turns so it's under the right armpit. Lift your left low belly a lot. Switch. It's a little harder for me to grab on the second side. Turns out my left block was a little further from me. So check your specs. Make sure you're giving yourself a fair shake. That's a boon. Not everyone can just give themselves a fair shake, right? So just appreciating some of the ease we have, even in challenging moments. Always being willing to rise to the challenge. Both hands on blocks, plank pose. Chaturanga. So you don't have to go very far, just because you're higher up. And then you can bring your knees down, tops of feet down, make it an easier kind of up dog cobra thing. Let the hips hang and gather that low belly. Really shove the blocks down into the earth and feel a corresponding shoulder blade action. They move down the back. You can even bring them a little bit towards each other. And if it's going well, straighten your legs. Tops of feet, press into floor, exhale back. Once again, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, hands on blocks. Back to down dog. And again, plank pose. Gaze is forward, belly's lifted, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Dos más, 2 more. Plank, look forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Keep looking forward. And now you look up, gently, lovingly, towards the heavens. And back we go. One more just like that, or something like that. Have the gaze forward. Get your head on straight. No hanging heads. It's not awesome for the neck. Right, and then back we go. From here, bring your knees down. You can have your blocks on their tall end next to you if you need them for support. And practicing this move where we step right foot forward, and I did sort of a shaky jump there, and you step it back. First of all, it's slow. And second of all, you track it right in line with the hip. right? So don't swing the leg out to the side. And also try to minimize, prevent your torso from swinging to the side. And we're just going right and left, right and left. So this is a stabilizing and lengthening exercise for the psoas muscle, the down leg muscle. So the psoas's agonist muscle is the glute medius, which tips, well, it takes the body to the side, but when you're on that leg, it takes the leg to the side, but when you're on that leg, it'll tip the body to the side. So if there's any swinging out of the leg or any tipping of the torso, that's lack of connection to the psoas of the standing leg. So you try to slow it down, try to make it right down the track. No swinging of anything out to the side, right? And then the next time you step your right leg forward, stand up on it and bring your left knee up. Then you reach back with the top of that left foot, put it on the floor, land on the knee softly, right knee comes back. Left foot, stand up on the left foot, right knee forward, and then right leg back, back to standing, kneeling, right foot forward, left knee up, and back we go. So you might need the blocks with your hands, that initial sort of lift off, or you might need the blocks to help you land softly. So at the top, add a little heel lift. And can you have that same exploration of when you lift the heel off the floor, can you still sense a connection to the floor through the heel reach? You're not just flying through space, right? And if you can get some stability in the heel lift, you can maybe turn this into a little hop at the top. So you go from down low and the leg plows and punches you upward. Significant strength move. So make your transitions as slow as you need to. My breath is increasing, my heart rate is increasing, heat's increasing. Next time you step and hop up with the left leg, which for me is now, let's stay up. Swing the arms up. Reach for the heavens. Swan dive. Touch the earth. Be here now. Left foot steps back. Swing the torso up. Feel the connection of right heel to earth. And that left heel reaching behind you as if it had something to connect with, as if it had earth, right? Earth element is there. So use that sensitivity of the heel to stabilize even though it's in space. Twist to the right. Left elbow comes around. You can keep hands in prayer, or you can build it a little bit bigger. Squeeze on down in there to a tighter twist maybe. Arm position of your choice. Right arm can go back behind you. That's shoulder extension. Or it can go to the sky, abducting the arm. Or you can take the arm all the way overhead, shoulder flexion. One more breath. Both hands down. You can step to the dog or to child's or to cat cow or both dogs. And let's take the left foot forward. Bring up the torso. Reach for the heavens. Connect with the timeless expanse of impermanence, of constant change, of infinity. And then bring it down right here to this moment and touch this moment. Be with the full felt sense of the twist, of your breath, of the emotional state, of your highest intentions, your divine nature. And we merge them all right in this moment, just as we are. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's hard. It's been hard lately. Back to symmetry. You want all the dogs, take them. Step the right foot forward. Keep the right toes pointing that direction as you spin the left heel down like triangle legs, but walk your hands to the center. So it's sort of like a wide-legged forward bend with your right leg turned out. Do a little side to side of the pelvis, and if you need to bend the knees to help smooth out that feeling, go for that. I'm after a little groin lengthening here, or a lot of groin lengthening, depending on how you feel it. You have to keep the outer right foot really sealed into the floor, so you can micro bend that right knee. Then, bend the right knee a lot, stack it over the heel. As you walk your hands around to the right, feel the right sit bone scoop under in line with your legs, and then turn the left torso open to the sky for side angle. Same choices with the left arm. I'm going to choose arm behind me. And then let's take it to the other side. So if you want to do something in the middle, you know your choices. You can hold your dog or do both dogs. Cats or cows. You can do chair or just stand or child's. What's needed? Getting good at being able to identify and offer what's needed. Right, our country could use some of that right now. Our world could use some of that. Left foot steps forward. Keep those left toes pointing forward, but then walk your hands to the right. And I'm going to change my facing so you don't get the butt. Hands in the middle, wide-legged, left leg's turned out. Move the hips right to left a little bit, and the knees might have to give you some access to little hip slide. This challenges our ability to turn the leg out, and it really highlights or reveals tight groins, tight, sort of sticky groin connective tissue. So the outer left foot really needs to be on the floor, and that might mean you have to bend the knee some or a lot. And we're going towards the bent knee now, so go ahead and bend it. Ride the outer foot as you walk the hands to the left. Scoop left sit bone under so it's right in line with your two legs. And the left hand can catch blocker ankle or elbow to knee, side angle to the left. Right arm goes where it wishes to go. For me, it wants to swing back. You might really like the full wingspan, reaching up. That has a certain sense of power. Or the arm all the way overhead has a certain sense of lightness. For my body, right? What are you feeling? And then when you're ready, take your time to go back through symmetry. Either both hands down or step forward or drop your knees. And really be with your choices, right? Not checking out. Remember, this is training. Training for our full human citizenship. To be fully present for the world as it shows up. All right, feet to hands. Extend the spine, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Grab your belt, come on up. And have your belt simply long. I've got a 10-foot belt, so I'm not going to open it up. But just have a long belt between your two hands. And with your arms overhead, make it so you can see, with your arms overhead, what's the distance between the two hands have to be to take the arms back? Now, before you go crazy here, bend your elbows and flex the wrists. So the wrists have this little curl. So you don't let the knuckles go back. Wrist has this little curl. And elbows have a little bend. So you're not just prying on the front of the shoulder joint. So you keep soft flexion in elbows and wrists. And how wide do the hands need to be to come all the way back and down? And all the way up and forward. So do this a few times. And what I'd like you to do, from the top of your mat, hold the belt overhead, step your left leg back, lunge. Start to take the arms back and down, let the heart go up, let the bridge of the nose go up. And you'll feel the belt land on your bum or your leg, and then take the heart higher. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, gather navel back, sweep arms up, step forward, and then right foot steps back. Arms go back. Chest goes up, navel goes back and up. Pelvic floor goes up. Bridge of nose goes up. Your highest intentions go up. And then the arms go up, and then you step forward. Left leg again. This time a little quicker. And keep the arms back there as you lean forward, step forward, keep the left foot up. And then can you tuck the left foot towards your bum and step the left leg over the belt. Now it's between your legs. Pick the right leg up, step it over the belt. Try not to bend down, but lift the leg up. And then you take the arms forward up as the right leg steps back. Take the belt back and down. Keep it back and down, stepping forward, but keep right foot in the air. Pick the leg up. Let the belt go down. Don't bend down. Use the legs. And then left leg up, arms go up, left leg goes back. So you're stepping over the belt, in and out, working lower body into abdomen. Keep the arms back and low. Stand on the right foot. Pull left leg way up. Swing belt under it. Pull right leg way up. Swing belt under it. Step right leg back. And arms up. And arms back. And heart up. And arms down. And stand on left leg. Pick right leg up. One more time each side. Pick left leg up. Left leg stays up, reaches back, arms up and back. Hiya. Keep arms back. Step onto right leg. Try not to bend down. Slowly pick left leg up, then right leg up, and then arms up. This time now, can you, if you're standing, bring the belt as you bend your elbows back and down. Catch the upper arms with your belt. And then put your fists on your pelvis. So you sort of captured the elbows shoulder width. And if your elbows are way out to the side, do it over. Have the hands a little closer on the belt. Belt up, bend elbows, arms back. Catch the upper arm just above the elbow. And then hold on to the belt tight as you put your wrists, your fists on the back of your pelvis. And then step your left leg back. Look back at your left leg. And then spin the left heel to the floor, warrior one, without turning the left hip. So start to move into your warrior one. Outer left hip is trying to turn forward and down. And the outer right hip is fading back and lifting. And the midline in the front, pubis to navel to heart to throat, that's all ascending. And just make the tail heavy. And then breathe into the big chest, big poofy chest here. And you can use the weight of the fists in the back of your pelvis to help support a little more lift in the heart. And with the belt here, you could do this handy transition where now you bring your hands from your hips, catch the back of the head with your belt. My earbuds are in the way. And then you take your fists to the sky, cradling your head with the belt. And then I vote you leave the belt draped around your neck. Plant your hands down. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down. foot makes the step. Look back, spin the heel down, keep the hips turned towards the front as you come on up. Do that catching of the upper arm bones just below the elbow, just above the elbow. So supporting a widening through the chest with the help of the belt. Tail heavy, and you're trying to bring that outer right hip forward and down. Outer left hip lifts up and rolls back. And then that midline, try to deepen it back towards back body, so feel the very center of your torso. And then extend the spine. Go up, and at any point you want to use that support for the head. Just bring the arms up, catching the back of the head with the belt. So you can still swallow. It's really easy in the throat. It's just a little self-assist. And then when you're ready, leave the belt draped around your neck. Plant your hands. Step back, find your thing here. Find you in this moment and what the needs are. Whether you want to move and push or be static and hold. Take the belt off your neck. Combining a few moves here. We're going to go right from down dog to a lunge to warrior three. So right foot steps forward. As the torso goes up, reach the arms forward. Stand on the right leg and stretch the left leg back. And you can keep your right leg bent as long as you need to, but please straighten and reach the left. Am I off screen? Nope. And then if you change your gaze, you might wipe out. Maybe you can straighten the down leg. Really reach forward though. So tease the weight into the toes. Right, standing splits. From standing splits, you could step the left leg back into a lunge and step the right leg back. Or this fancy maneuver where you float one-legged back to the plank. So hands go down, left leg stays up, float right leg back, land left leg, plank pose, chaturanga. Up we go. Back. It's hard, I know, right? But this is not nearly as hard as like fighting for your right to breathe or fighting for your right to exist, right? So if we can't do it for ourselves, let's do it for those who need support and strength and power. Can we endure? Left foot forward to warrior one. So flirt with the lunge, but launch into the warrior one. Keep left knee bent in warrior three. My bad. Keep left knee bent as long as you need to. It's much easier to find connection from foot to pelvis with a soft knee. And if you got it, then test your ability to sustain it with a straightening of the leg, really squeezing the left thigh. And then when you can't take it anymore, bow to it. Hands down, standing splits, right leg to the sky. Couple of breaths, and you've got the choice to step right leg down and step back to it, or step it forward and stand up, or push your hands down, right leg stays high, float the left leg back, plank, chaturanga, and up. Back to down dog. And then knees down, hands in prayer on the mat with forearms down. Elbows right under shoulders, so we're on knees and elbows. Outer wrists to floor, and actually tip the fingertips towards the sky a bit. So the outer wrists are heavier. And then like you're trying to shove your mat in the direction of your hands with your arms, your mat's not going to go anywhere, but you could take your tail and your spine up. Elbow dog, by way of shoving the mat forward. Really firm up the thighs and updraft the front of the legs from the front of the ankle to the kneecaps, to the low belly lift. Keep shoving the floor forward with the elbows and feel a wrapping like a burrito wrap from the back body around to the side ribs, around to the side shoulders, around to the belly and up through the navel to the tail. Take your left leg up. Now if you got chops, You might be able to do a quick flirt pincha, right? If you don't have chops, if it is like that, it's like more dangerous than helpful. Be wise, stay with the three-legged version, right? And just reach the leg so high that someday the floating up is inevitable. Switch legs. Don't turn the hips. Try to keep that same sense of burrito wrap through the pelvis. Right, and then from here, knees down. Have a seat on your heels. Interlace your hands behind. Just pause. Let it wash over you. Feel the floor under you. Just check in with emotional state, right? The world is still as it is. We're doing what we can do in this moment. Sustaining endurance, sustaining strength, sustaining attention, and training for our lives. So, from here, you might want to put some blocks under your hips. So your hips are higher up. You could also tuck toes under. So what we're going to do, once again, torso stays vertical. And we're going to move from the thighs. So you unbend the knees to high kneeling, and you sit back down. And if you lean forward, you're going to use your back muscles. If you keep your torso upright, you're going to use your thigh muscles. So with the heels tucked under, as mine are, my toes tucked under rather, I'm not coming from as low of a position. My knees, thighs don't have to work as hard. This would be true if you used a couple blocks. I'm going to untuck my toes, so that extra 4 inches is significant for me. Tail points straight down the whole time. So when you come up to standing kneeling, feel the tail swing under you between those two sit bones without clenching your bum. I mean, there's going to be some gluteal engagement, and you can do that without the gross action of clenching. The glutes get that kind of strengthening work in lunges and other moves, right? But this parallel, symmetrical hip extension is not helped by squeezing your bum. Squeeze your bum in other moves. And just let your thighs catch fire here, if you can. There's a time to set fires. There's a time to put out fires. Speaking metaphorically, mostly. Okay, catch your belt. Whichever leg was the hardest to step up on, pick that one, step on up. And then get that same bit of belt length between your two hands. Have the belt behind you. And can you put the top of the left foot in the belt? And then the belt length might have to be adjusted because you're going to bring the hands up, swing the elbows forward like the elbow dog, and then you can bring your two hands together behind your head and begin to kick back and up for dancer pose. Hold on to the belt. Keep your lift through the heart, through the bridge of the nose, through the soft palate, through your spirits. And simply kick like mad. Kick that left leg straight and pull a little bit against it with your arms. Let the elbows rise up, outer wrists rise up. Keep breathing. And appreciate the fact that you can. Even though this other business is challenging you, it's not that hard. And then go ahead and release. And I hope you come out the way you went in. So you got to split the belt between your two hands, bring the elbows down in front of you, and then swing them to the sides. Unbend the elbows. So if that's a hard thing to do with your arms, make your belt longer. Right foot gets cradled in the belt behind you, somewhere on the top of the foot. You could go to the ankle. And then elbows stay close to your sides as you bend them. Your hands are by your shoulders. And then swing the elbows forward like they're magnetized towards each other. And then point them up. Foot comes up with you. Kick like mad. Pull on the belt as an opposition to the kick. And as a action to engage the shoulders in front there, the outer armpits, and then raise the outer wrists, raise the elbows, raise the right toe tips, raise your heart, raise your voice in the service of goodness and integration and connection, and the right to be just as you are. First side again. 2 times each side. If you need to stop and pause, or stop and flow, or stop and cry, or stop and pray, do you. One more time. Left leg back when you're ready. And again, the standing leg, you can have a little bend, right? Bend to feel the connection so you don't get blocked up in the knee or the hip. Yum. Last time, right leg back. Okay. Pause in your mountain if you haven't. Feel the earth under your feet. Let that support you. Present moment is being here with all it is. Feel the space around you and let that support your breath, your ease of movement. And when you're ready, reach up, sweep up, inhale to the sky, exhale, touch the earth. Be here now. Back through both dogs if you want them. Up dog might feel really fun about now. You might not. It might feel really like the last thing you need. Right? And then back to down dog. What I'd like to do is have you come through to sit, grab your 2 blocks, put them under your feet, or put them on the floor on their flat side so you can put your feet on them. And scoot your bum fairly close to them, and use this for bridge pose. So a lot of freedom in the hips. Now you got to press the whole length of the arms back, and you press your head back a little bit actually. So don't let the weight get poured down into your head, but hold the weight with your feet. Like pull the weight of the body forward towards your feet with those strong hammies, like you're pulling the blocks under you with your feet. And then move the shoulders back into the earth so there's space behind your neck, space between your neck and the floor. Head can push back a little to help support ease in the neck. And you either hold it here if you like, or Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow, people call it wheel. Place your hands by your head and you get the full push up of the arms. And I vote, you take a couple breaths in this first one, come down, reset. If you decided you didn't like the blocks, don't use them, or put them under your hands, right? I love the blocks. I've always wanted longer legs. Here's my chance. So, either bridge, you could put one block under your bum, lose the other block for supported bridge. Be a little more chill. Otherwise, you're going for it. And maybe you've got 1 or 2 more in you. We're almost to the end, right? So you have to check your own endurance capacity, right? Be kind to yourself, it starts there. But also be honest with yourself. It starts there. I've got 1 more in me. You might be resting, you might be bridge posing, you might be doing something else completely, and that's all good. And then what I recommend from here is that you land lose the blocks. Knock your knees together and have your feet wide on the mat. You can put your hands on your belly. Feel the movement of big breath. Feel the movement of quick heart rate. And just feel into the beauty of that, the aliveness of that, even though there might be other things swirling, maybe joy and pride in the work you've done, maybe heartbreak and sadness for this world, and could be both at the same time. I vote you catch your belt, shoot one leg straight up in the air, like don't bring it back to your face, vertical, okay, vertical, so that's why I'm using the belt. Lengthen the left leg long, put the belt in your left hand, and then I'm going to spin around so you can see. Use your right hand like a hook in the right hip crease and move the outer right hip towards your left foot and simply cross the right leg about 6-8 inches over to the left. So your right bum stays on the floor mostly. So it's a little lumbar release. It's not epic, but it will take the edge off. All right, and then you switch legs. Switch hands, belt in right hand. Left leg is vertical. It's not a hamstring stretch. It's not, right? And then you cross the midline a bit and using your left hand to shove the outer left hip down towards your right leg. From here, if you need to hug your knees in and take the edge off, great, do it. Otherwise, if you feel good, then I recommend you take your 2 blocks, and if you can have them like on a diagonal, lengthwise with your body, and so they're just sort of tipped on an angle, and I just use them to hold the outer legs. So my knees are a little bit bent, which is a helpful move. But there's no hard edge of a block cutting into my legs, and they're sort of held in a little bit of internal rotation. Arms can go anywhere. Hands can rest on body. And then touching this tender moment of rest and recovery, of listening to and looking closely at the consequences of your choices. Availing the mind to learn, to adapt, to not be predictable. Each moment is fresh and new. And it can be thus for us too. Each moment fresh and new. We've never been here before. What will we do with our brand new fresh reality? Rail against it? I'm done with that. Wish it wasn't so? I'm done with that. See what's mine to do in the service of all beings. That's what I'm after. That's my vow. How can I be of help? Stay right here, just one more minute of your sacred vow on your mat to be in the moment just as it is. Don't leave it. And as you're ready, you can certainly keep resting. That's one of the boons of Zoom yoga. Zoga, I'm calling it. Or you can sit up, take your time, and bring your hands together. Thank you. I love you.